Today we acknowledge and pay our respects to the First Peoples, the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways. We thank them for their continued custodianship. We acknowledge and celebrate the continuation of a living culture that has a unique role in the region and we also acknowledge elders, past and present. We thank them for their wisdom and their guidance as we walk in their footsteps. Now this evening we have three interpreters, who are here to assist our families. We have an Arabic interpreter, a Dari interpreter and a Swahili interpreter. So if you are here this evening and would like to head out you'll still have this presentation, but you'll work with one of our interpreters and a staff member. So do we have any Arabic, Swahili or Dari speaking families who would like to take advantage of anybody? All good? Okay, fantastic. Thank you. We will also send the slide deck out to you, and this evening's presentation is being recorded, so we'll provide you all with a copy, and that'll be available to all families who here and not able to be here this evening. That will be available from next week, but I will send the slide deck out as a PDF file later this evening. So tonight we will be having a look at the options that your child will be selecting, the VCE vocational major and VET and SBAT options. We'll be talking about where you can get advice for choices, and we'll be running you through the selection process because our parents and guardians are a significant part of the selection process for this particular year level. When making choices about a senior certificate, we encourage students to consider a pathway that will prepare them for further training and tertiary courses they are considering, that will lead to a career or a job that they are interested in, and that will match their learning style and enable them to have success. We offer a VCE pathway here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College. There is the VCE Certificate of Education or the VCE Certificate of Education Vocational Major. They are the two pathways. As you can see on this slide, the programs are quite similar. Both the VCE and the VCE Vocational Major are a 2-year program. Both of the programs require students to satisfactorily complete a minimum of 16 units across the 2 years to pass. 8 of these units must be Unit 3 and 4 sequences, that is, subjects that you will complete when you are in Year 12. 2 of the units must be a Unit 3 and 4 English sequence. This is the same in both of our pathways. As you can see in the VCE Vocational Major, still with the 16 units, students must have 3 VCE Vocational Major or VCE English subjects, and they must have a Unit 3 and 4 sequence. They also must complete VCE Vocational Major Numeracy or an alternate VCE Maths, VCE Vocational Major Work-Related Skills, VCE Vocational Major Personal Development Skills, and they will also be required to undertake a VET subject. And we'll look at that a little bit later, and we have our wonderful team from GoTAFE here this evening. They'll be available after the presentation to have a conversation with anybody about VET options at GoTAFE. Both of these pathways are a senior certificate. The VCE pathway provides lots of options for choosing subjects. The VCE Vocational Major has a limited subject choice because there are more required subjects that a student must complete to achieve the VCE Vocational Major certificate. At VCE, there is only one compulsory subject in Year 11 and 12, and that is English. In the VCE vocational major, there are multiple compulsory subjects. As mentioned, you must complete an English, a maths, work-related skills, personal development skills, and you must also have a VET subject. If you are a VCE student and you're looking at taking some work placement, you can only undertake work placement in your school holidays. Whereas VCE vocational major, because it is an applied learning pathway, you will be undertaking some work placement during the school term in Year 11 and in Year 12. It is part of your course. The VCE program is a more academic program. An ATAR is calculated after you complete your Year 12 exams. The VCE vocational major is an applied learning program. There are no exams at the end of Year 12 and no ATAR is calculated. The VCE program provides direct pathways into university. The VCE vocational major does have pathways to tertiary study, but not directly into university. It will require you to take a stepping stone between. So some of you are probably thinking, well, what's an applied learning program? An applied learning program incorporates teaching skills and knowledge in the context of real-life situations. It allows students to discover how to apply what they have learned by doing, by experiencing, and by relating to things that are in the real world. It enables you to connect with community. It enables you to kickstart your career while you're still at school. The tasks that you do in your class are quite often linked to real life related experiences. You may, for example, in your numeracy class, be looking at some finance documents from a small business. Okay, or you'll be writing things that are relevant, like job application letters in your English class in VCE vocational major. The VCE vocational major applied learning pathway encourages students and the teacher in the class to share their experiences and skills that they bring. And also, it has a focus on skills that are not usually seen in the more traditional classrooms. So, who should choose the VCE vocational major? If you have a plan for a vocational pathway at the end of school, an apprenticeship or a traineeship, you may consider this pathway. If you are interested in this, then when you have your paperwork, which you all received last term in your Senior Pathways Guide, you'll need to make sure that you complete the VCE vocational major expression of interest. It's really important that you get that done. Students who should consider choosing VCE are students who are really not sure what they want to do when they finish school. Students that are looking for a course that is about knowledge and understanding rather than applying this to more real-life work experiences. Students who are wanting to sit exams, get a grade, achieve an ATAR and head on to university when they finish Year 12. Students who are looking to go to university, VCE pathway is for you. So, if you are looking to do either of these pathways, you must complete them over 2 years, but there is an option to complete your VCE or VCE vocational major over 3. Traditionally, students complete the program over 2. In Year 11, you'll complete Unit 1 and 2 subjects. Some of you may be doing a Unit 1 and 2 subject if you're fast-tracking. Is there anyone here who's fast-tracking a subject? So already doing a VCE subject? Yep, got a couple? Yep, fantastic. So you'll be getting your heads around the expectations of VCE and deadlines and SACs and so on. In Year 12, students complete Units 3 and 4 of a subject. and these must be taken together. It's called a sequence. To complete VCE and the VCE vocational major, as I already mentioned, you must complete 16 units in total across the 2 years. You must complete 3 units of an English, so passing at least one in Year 11 and both of them in Year 12. And you have to have a minimum of 4 units at Unit 3, 4 sequences of Unit 3 and 4, one of those being your English. VCE vocational major students must also ensure that they have passed these subjects listed here. So there's maths or numeracy, work-related skills, personal development skills, and their VET credits that they'll achieve across those 2 years. In VCE, Year 11 students will complete 6 subjects. Unless they're doing a school-based apprenticeship, they will complete 4 and their school-based apprenticeship because they'll go to work 1 day a week. In Year 12, your 6 subjects drops down to 5. Or if you're doing a school-based, you'll do your VCE and your school-based. When you're preferencing your subjects, all of you must preference 8 subjects on your sheets, whether you're deciding to do a VCE pathway or a VCE vocational major pathway. Next year, our Year 11 students who choose the VCE vocational major pathway will complete an additional VCE subject. So all of our students in Year 11 will have a full course load. Private study sessions won't start until Year 12. So here, this is just this subject, this slide again, but for our VCE students. So this is just a change, our VCE vocational major students. This is just changed here where it says that you will complete 5 VCE or VCE vocational major subjects in this pathway. Our timetable has the capacity for our students to do this. So we look at students, for example, someone who might be looking at getting an apprenticeship in fabrication. They may choose the VCE vocational major pathway, and the VCE subject they may choose is product design and technology because it would align nicely with their VET engineering and it would align nicely with their goals for the future to obtain an apprenticeship in that area. So we'll be looking when we counsel students at supporting those students choosing that pathway into the right VCE subjects for them. I'm not going to read through this list, but you can see there are lots of subjects to choose from. Okay? There are a range of English subjects, art, health and PE, humanities, technology, science, maths and language. There also is an option to undertake a language if you speak a language already. At the Victorian School of Languages, there are some languages offered here on site on a Saturday morning at Greater Shepparton Secondary College. So that's a conversation that if you're one of those students who fluently speaks a language and is looking to do it in VCE, you would need to have that conversation with Carla Stevens, who's in charge of our LOTE department. And then also you would have a conversation with VCE coordinator Felicity Cummins. You guys have seen this slide before if you're a student. Your parents, if they haven't had a chance to look at your paperwork yet, are looking at it for the first time. You guys are here on the left at Year 10. The next 2 weeks is a big opportunity for you to start thinking about what 2024 and 25 looks like for you. Which pathway will you take? And this little diagram shows that the direct link from VCE straight into university. But you can see that VCE vocational major also has some steps to get into university via TAFE or through if you achieve an apprenticeship. There's a lot of different ways that you can still get to university if you choose that pathway and decide to head to university. And there we've got in the middle a VET or SBAT, and we'll talk about that in a little while. Okay, so making these decisions is important because as you can see, you're heading into the next stage. We need to be thinking about next year and the year after and how it's setting you up for the future. So VET stands for Vocational Education and Training. If you choose the VCE vocational major pathway, a VET subject is compulsory. It will prepare you for certain occupations or fields of work. It is competency-based assessment. We offer some of them here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College, and TAFE are offering 18 different VET subjects to choose from next year. It gives you an opportunity to study and obtain a nationally recognised TAFE qualification as part of your secondary school studies, which is really valuable for you. Some of the subjects can contribute to your VCE. The subject you choose is delivered over 2 years. It's not a subject that you can change halfway through. It's a 2-year qualification. So choosing a VET, you really need to be choosing wisely because you'll be doing that subject for 2 years. Here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College, the VET subjects we offer are blocked into the timetable. At GoTAFE, the subjects are delivered for a full day on a Wednesday. We offer business, community services, cookery, engineering studies, music, sport and recreation here at Greater Shepparton Secondary College. GoTAFE offer all of these wonderful studies. Some of them are available online. Animal studies, equine studies and business are offered online. So they're really for students who are very good at managing their time and are really, really keen on these subjects. They will involve some face-to-face time on school holidays. Some of these subjects at GoTAFE have additional requirements as well as your expression of interest. You may need to sit an entrance test. You may need to sit an interview. So it depends on the course, and it depends on each course has different requirements. But what I can tell you, based on experiences, these courses fill up because they're not just for Greater Shepparton Secondary College students. Students from Namurka, Nathalia, Benalla, Notre Dame, they all are the Christian school, the grammar school, they are also applying for these subjects. So meeting deadlines and all of the requirements that TAFE have for you to complete these subjects is key if you wish to be considered. They fill up very fast. Okay. So how will it work if you are interested in doing a GoTAFE VET? You will come to subject selection day. You will have all of your paperwork ready. You will meet with a member from the careers team and you'll have your parent or guardian with you, and we will have a subject counselling session. When we've finished that session and entered your subject options into Web Preferences, which is the software we use, you will then head across to GoTAFE, who will very kindly be on site that day. They'll have a chat with you about the VET that you're interested in doing, and then you'll head into another room where you'll be on a laptop completing your expression of interest for the course that you would like to do at GoTAFE next year. It's an expression of interest. It's not locked in, but following the instructions and doing everything right is a real winner. Okay? You'll need to make sure that you're regularly checking the email address that you have provided TAFE with, because TAFE will follow up with the students. TAFE will provide additional tasks that you need to complete. And if you don't complete them, they'll just fill that space with a student who has. So it is very competitive. So you just need to be mindful of following the process and being super organised, okay? Marianne, would you like to come and have a chat about school-based apprenticeships, please? Some of you may be familiar with these, some of you may not, but Marianne will just give you a little bit of a chat.
So there is the opportunity for you to start your school-based traineeship or apprenticeship while you're at school and complete Year 11 and Year 12 and work 1 day a week. How we establish these is through work experience, and you develop a relationship with the employer, and then we contact the Head Start program, and they meet with the employer, the student, the family, and they go through the process of establishing the partnership between the employer and the family. So it would be 1 day a week of work, and 4 days a week of school. You need to complete 13 hours a week of training and work. So you may need to work through some school holidays or weekends to make up your work component. Your training, a Head Start people would link you up with a registered training authority like a GoTAFE, and your training could be on site at GoTAFE. It could be a trainer coming to the workplace to assess you on site. It is competency based. It's a great way for you to stay at school, finish Year 11 and Year 12, and start your working journey at the same time. Many employers do like, particularly in trades, to be closer to the age of 18, so they're closer to having their licence. So it's a great way that we can help you start your journey, and it can all go towards your VCE vocational major or your VCE pathway.
When we have our 2 subject selection days, we will have a representative from Head Start available at some stage across those 2 days for students and their families to have a conversation with as well. So you will have been getting lots of support in Pathways Mentor. We've been providing you with information since the beginning of Term 2 about subject selection. So you need to make sure that you are taking this book to all of your classes. You need to make sure that you are taking it to Pathway Mentor next week, because next Wednesday will be the last opportunity for your Pathway Mentor to check how you're progressing with completing your paperwork in preparation for subject selection. Okay? You need to consider using the careers website. You can also have a look at your Moresby report that you will have received if you completed the Moresby program last year. If you go onto the college's website and log in, the career website and log in, you can access your career action plan, and that can also help you establish some goals and a pathway. If you are thinking to apply for the VCE vocational major, it's important that you have a career action plan. We find it really helpful if you bring it with you to your interview. You can also have a look on VTAC and identify some prerequisites for courses you may wish to study, because some university degrees require you to complete certain subjects in VCE, or they won't consider you for a spot in their course. So it's important that you get familiar with that, and that's part of the counselling as well. We'll make sure we help you with that too. So this is the careers website, which I know all of you students will be familiar with. GSSCcareers.com, really easy to access, and you can log in and do some quizzes and some profiles to learn some more about yourself and your natural strengths and abilities. Might suggest some careers and subjects that are good for you. You can also access this booklet on the senior school page. If you head in there to senior and go to Year 11 course selection for 2024, you can access a link to the book, but this is way tiny for you to read. However, there are many links on there that are constantly being updated as organisations update their information. We update this. You can access these and get some more help with helping determine what your pathway might be. Your teacher should be talking to you in class at this time about what subjects are available. They should have presented to you last term and will be doing so again this term to remind you about what subjects there are that you can choose from. And they'll be making themselves available because you need to get their signatures in your paperwork. Okay? So you've received all of these. And if you're sitting there thinking, oops, I wasn't here and I didn't get it, your individually labelled booklet is in the careers hub of your neighbourhood. So you just need to go and see the practitioner, Susan Barr, Greg Bristol or Dan Watson in your neighbourhood, and they'll be able to give you your individual paperwork and booklet. This is the first thing that you'll get. You need to fill in this information. Sorry, this is the front page. You'll need to create a unique student identifier. It's a USI. You will have that for life. It's a mixture of numbers and letters. There's 10 of them, usually more letters than numbers. And it's really easy. Take you about 6 or 7 minutes. And you just need a Medicare card to do that. If you're having problems, again, reach out to one of us. We can help you. But you'll create that and put that on this sheet. And you'll complete that front page. The second page is where you'll preference all the subjects that you want to do. You will need to make sure that you number 1 through to 8, with 1 being the subject you want to do most of all, and 8 being the one that you still want to do, but it's a bit further down your list. But next to each subject, there's a line. That's for your teacher's signature. You need to be signed into the subjects that you want to complete. So it's your responsibility to have these conversations with your classroom teachers or the teacher that you had last semester in science or legal or wherever it may be to get signatures. This is really important, okay? Super important. So please don't leave this in your locker or in your bag or on your desk at home. Bring it to school, take it to every single class and get these signatures. It's really, really important. Even if you're choosing the VCE vocational major pathway, you still need to preference those 8 subjects because you will be doing a VCE subject. The blue form is your maths and English pathways, okay? Again, you will need to complete this with your English and maths teachers, and they will be talking to you about what they believe is the best pathway for you from a maths and English perspective, all right? And the green form is the vocational major expression of interest, okay? This needs to be completed and all of these documents need to be brought with you to subject selection. Parents, you need to sign these too, okay? Your signature needs to be on these forms. Students, yours needs to be on there as well. We need to know that there's been some conversation at home and that everybody's kind of on the same page, okay? That doesn't mean that maybe your folks want you to be an accountant and you don't want to be and you're still not clear on that as a family, but at least you've had that conversation. That's what we want, all right? Monday the 24th and Tuesday the 25th of July are incredibly important days. We value subject selection of your particular year level very highly at Greater Shepparton Secondary College. As a result, for those 2 days, all of our Year 10 students will do remote learning. They will be at home completing subject work that their teachers put up in Compass for them. And during those 2 days, parents and guardians will make an appointment, and at some point across those 2 days, between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m, parents and guardians will come in with their child and their completed paperwork, and they will meet with one of the careers team and have a counselling conversation and talk about your pathway, where you think you're heading. And during that conversation, we'll be entering your subjects into web preferences. Entry is directly off Horden Street in the gym. We'll pretty much be taking over the classrooms in the gym for the week because we do Year 9 counselling later in the week. So it's super important that you make an appointment and come along with your completed paperwork. If you arrive on the day and the paperwork isn't completed, you'll be required to complete it before you come in for your appointment, because we'll be working to a pretty tight schedule with a team of 6 of us getting through all of our Year 10 cohort in 2 days. Okay? At peak periods, it might be tricky to get a park, so please make sure that you leave enough time to get in here for that appointment time that you've booked. Okay, how do I book? I can hear you, you're busting to book. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, a Compass message will be sent to all Year 10 parents and guardians with a link to try booking, and you will pick a time and make a booking across those 2 days. Okay, you will not be allocated to a specific careers practitioner. We'll just be working with whoever's available at the time that you come in, but I can assure you that we are all qualified and we all love this time of year. It's one of our favourite parts of the year as careers practitioners, so we'll be busting to talk to you, whoever you are. So if we don't know you, we will by the end of that conversation. Reminder, parents and guardians, we want you there too. You'll bring your USI will be on your form. All of your paperwork will be complete, including the VCE vocational major expression of interest if that's the pathway you're interested in. Bring a career action plan along if that's the pathway you think you'd like to take. Because you need to be able to talk to us if you want to do the vocational major, the VCE vocational major. We want to know that you're really clear on the pathway and why that pathway through the applied learning would be the best option for you. And everyone else will be at home unless they're here for their appointment. Preparation is really important. Get those signatures. Take your booklets and your paperwork to every single class. Have a conversation with people that you know who are doing subjects you're interested in Year 11 and 12. You're in vertical home groups now, so there's students above you in the class every morning. Have a chat with them. If you've got cousins or friends, have a chat with them. Talk to your teachers. Have a conversation with your parents or your uncle who might be an electrician and you're interested in what his pathway was. Talking to people is really important. Speak to people in industry or people who are already at university doing things you're interested in and see what their pathway was. Get that career action plan sorted and make sure, please, that you create your USI. Today we are presenting to all of you. Tomorrow morning you can make a booking from 9 a.m. By Friday the 21st of July, everything needs to be completed because from 8 o'clock on the Monday you'll be coming in for counselling appointments. So it's really important you've got all of that done. And we won't be available to talk to you that week of counselling. So if you need to speak to someone in the careers team prior, this week and next week is the time to do it. Harping on, bring that completed paperwork, very important. You can speak to any of us in the careers team. I've got us listed there. We're here to help you. We also have Ruth O'Brien, who is in DG06 with Felicity Cummins. Felicity is our VCE leader and Ruth is our applied learning leader. So if you're not really clear on what you might like to do or you want to have a bit of a chat, they both teach in those areas and they can have a conversation with you about the subjects, the expectations, the pathway if you're thinking about an applied learning pathway. Talk to your subject teachers and your domain leaders. Talk to your pathway mentor teacher. Have a conversation with your home group teachers. Talk to your house leaders. The more conversation, the more knowledge you gain, the more educated your decisions will be. You'll make wise decisions. Parents, please encourage your students to research and discuss options. Ensure they read the Senior Subject Pathways Guide. It's really important. Yes, there's a lot of information, and if there's subjects they're not at all interested in, definitely not. But anything that they are slightly interested in, please get them to read. Read it too. You can have some good conversations together then. Remind them to select subjects they are interested in that best support their pathway. It's their journey in more than ever heading into the senior years. It's your individual journey, so choose the subjects for you. Make sure that you've got your USI. Help your child to get their USI by providing their Medicare card or sitting with them to do it. It won't take very long. And make sure that they bring all of their completed paperwork to the appointment. Does anybody have any questions at this point?